Alright, so today's video is on Teemo. Now Teemo is a Spirit and Sharpshooter champion. Spirit is the synergy that makes it so the first time a Spirit champion casts their spell, all allies gain attack speed based on the spell's mana cost. And then Sharpshooter, and all Sharpshooters' attacks and spells will ricochet to nearby enemies, dealing a reduced damage, which will vary depending on how many Sharpshooters you have. That will affect the damage reduction as well as the number of ricochets. But each of the sharpshooters ricochets do deal on-hit effects. Now that is very important, especially for Teemo, because in this build he is very ability dependent. Now what Teemo's ability is called Spore Cloud Dart. So what Teemo does is he fires a dart at a target that explodes and deals damage to that champion as well as to surrounding champions. And any enemies targeted by this ability are temporarily blinded while they get damaged as well. The initial damage dealt to the main target, as well as the damage per second and the duration of the damage and blind, all scale depending on the level of Teemo. Now the items I chose to put on Teemo are the Spirisogen, Morello, and I put the Quicksilver on him as well, just to make sure he doesn't get crowd control. So I put the Spirisogen because while I am running the Sharpshooter trait, each of the chained attacks will apply on hit effects, and so instead of getting 5 mana back per attack, Teemo actually gets 15 mana back per attack, and this will allow Teemo to cast his spell a lot quicker, blinding enemies, which is always super helpful. And then I picked the Morello because a Morello is really good for area of effect spells like Teemo's is, because it hits the initial target and then explodes on contact, poisoning all nearby enemies. This allows him to get even more burn damage in than on top of the poison damage. And the Quicksilver, obviously, as I mentioned before, crowd control. It's nice to not be subject to crowd control for the first 12 seconds of combat. An item you could switch in here would be a Rage Blade, just because this can allow Teemo to attack even faster. Rage Blades on Sharpshooter champions always are very effective, but I didn't have the items for the Rage Blade, as well as I wanted to avoid any issues with crowd control, since I don't really have any other carries I can depend on if Teemo does get hit by a spell and stunned or possibly killed. If you have any questions on Teemo or any other champions, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.